Imagine it's Friday afternoon. Your paycheck hits the account. It's an ordinary number. No secret passive income, no six-figure investment yields. Almost immediately, the math begins in your head. Rent, groceries, the electric bill. The numbers race against a clock moving too fast. Now, picture someone earning that exact same ordinary salary, only he sleeps soundly. He doesn't refresh his banking app in a panic every time a charge comes through. Modern culture reinforces a specific myth that peace only arrives when your income drastically increases. We are taught to wait for a larger paycheck before beginning the work of building wealth. For most people earning a modest wage, the unexamined psychological framework used to process money acts as the primary barrier to stability, far more than the size of the paycheck itself. Think of your monthly income as water you've pulled from a well in a bucket. Many people focus entirely on how much water they can haul up. But if that bucket has tiny holes, a subscription, a random online purchase, a delivery fee, half the water drains out. Consumer culture accelerates this bleed. One-click shopping and auto-renewals remove the physical friction of handing over cash. When the effort required to buy something disappears, your brain disconnects the pain of spending from the temporary thrill of getting something new. The purchase becomes practically invisible to your conscious mind. Thousands of invisible, frictionless microdecisions bleed the bucket dry, creating the flood of financial instability far more often than single massive mistakes. In post-war Japan, waste carried a physical cost. Families lived in an environment of absolute devastation and resource scarcity. Every yen functioned as a vital tool for survival, and losing even one represented a direct threat to a family's ability to eat. Out of this scarcity, a practice called Kakeibo gained deep cultural traction. This century-old journaling method functions as a deliberate psychological tool to force attention, rather than a mere ledger for tracking pennies. Modern consumers often buy first and think later. Kakeibo reverses this. Before making a purchase, it requires you to answer simple, specific questions in a notebook. This forced pause exposes the loneliness, stress, or boredom actually driving the impulse. By inserting this moment of reflection, you stop reacting to marketing triggers. You step out of the role of a passive consumer and become an active gatekeeper of your own labor. Above ground, a bamboo stalk looks thin and fragile, yet it survives powerful storms. The secret lies in the dark soil, where it develops an enormous root system long before it ever grows tall. This illustrates the second behavioral reversal. Save first, spend second. Instead of saving whatever is left over at the end of the month, you secure a small, manageable amount the exact moment your paycheck clears, building your root system first. This philosophy of intentional friction extends to daily routines. Walking instead of driving, repairing broken items, and preparing meals at home manually reconnect you to the effort required to live. When we invite friction back into our lives, we force ourselves to pay attention. That awareness creates internal discipline, and discipline, ultimately, is the real architecture holding up financial freedom. There is a Japanese proverb, "Even dust, when piled up, becomes a mountain." A single grain of rice is virtually meaningless alone, but gather enough of them and you can feed a village. Wealth follows the exact same logic. We tend to paralyze ourselves staring at massive targets, buying a home, retiring early, escaping debt. But the progress actually happens in the quiet, mundane choice to skip one unnecessary purchase today, or cook one extra dinner at home this week. Imagine trying to walk through a dark forest at midnight, holding a small paper lantern. The light doesn't show you the end of the trail or the final destination. It only illuminates the next 3 feet. You don't need a flawless financial strategy, a massive salary, or perfect market conditions to begin. You only need the courage to take that next illuminated step. Modern consumerism functions like a teacup that expands as you pour, ensuring the target of success remains perpetually out of reach. The Japanese system counters this with a simple, disruptive question: what is enough? Answering this question for yourself strips consumer culture of the power it holds over your decisions. Intentional stewardship over your current resources, however modest, builds a lasting sense of peace that no specific tax bracket can provide. Look closely at your own daily routines. Identify just one specific behavioral habit you can change today. Because every towering mountain and every personal fortune starts with acknowledging the power of a single grain of dust.